fight back! We will defend ourselves! We will defend ourselves! We will defend ourselves! Stay the fuck back! Stay the fuck back! Pull it out, pull it out, pull it out, pull it out! Stay the fuck back!
Oh! All right. What is going on, everybody? Phil here, live on the stream. I am back, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! What a week. What a week it has been. What a week. My God.
I mean...
How do I even begin? I guess I begin by saying, thanks for the money, stupid fuck. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's the big topic on everyone's mind that I got married in Connecticut.
You better call a goddamn priest, because that shit ain't natural.
That is correct. I got married in the state of Connecticut when I was there. Not a single person really expected that was going to happen, because I never talked about it on purpose for my own and Kat's own and my family's personal safety. It was basically the best kept secret I've ever kept, and it went incredibly well.
Oh my God, excuse me.
Just to give you guys a heads up, because I am going to be talking about this, obviously. And this is a humongous secret that I kept for months and months. And didn't give you guys any inkling whatsoever. In fact, if you guys didn't even notice, in recent days, right before my visit, a couple people were asking me live on stream about getting married when I'm in Connecticut, and would it be a good idea and all of this. And I basically had to completely BS everybody.
It was really tough on the fly trying to make up shit to tell you guys.
Because, as you guys know, in the United States, federal taxes are due tomorrow. Tomorrow is April 15th. They're due, and I needed help with my taxes, and I was very upfront and transparent with all of you on that. And I knew that doing these multiple marathon streams, trying to raise tips for that and everything, that I basically had to keep everything else a secret, because I knew people would be fucking with me personally on a personal level if all that was going on. I knew. Just imagine. Can you guys just imagine how the trolls would have reacted if they knew I was flying to Connecticut to get married, but at the same time I needed help with these taxes? And by the way, as I'm going to explain, don't worry, again, everything's going to be explained. Everything I've told you guys up front about that stuff is
100% a lie.
I fully knew that with the situation going on with the taxes and everything, all right, that once the word got out that I had gotten married in Connecticut, that you were going to have insane amounts of trolling. I just knew it. I knew this was going to be the field day for trolls, where they were going to go out and literally just make shit up, because this is their livelihood. This is what they do. This is how they get their attention and their jollies. I'm sure they probably got insane amounts of views in the last few days since I announced on Wednesday that I was married. And it's all 1,000,000% based on speculation. 1,000,000% based on speculation. Not a single piece of it is based on fact. Because the bottom line is there's no facts to support anything that any of them have said. Oh, Phil's a scammer, and Phil took the money that he said was for taxes, and he did it to pay for a wedding. The whole notion is so ludicrous. It is. It's so ludicrous. If anyone who knows anything, all right, about any kind of wedding planning knows you don't pay for things on the day of the fucking wedding. It's just so stupid. Yes, I'm sure that the Saturday or the Friday and Saturday before my wedding, I raised, some money for taxes, and I spent that on the venue and everything. What are you talking about? Anything for a wedding that would have had to be done has to be done way ahead of time, okay? There's no way it could even go towards it. In addition to that, the funny part, you have zero evidence of anything that I did in Connecticut. You have none. Because the bottom line is, I'm sure as soon as I announced I was married, you can rest assured the trolls went right on the internet. Oh my God, we got to search for wedding venues. Where was the Burnell party? We got to find where Phil got married. What did he pay for? Is there a church that we can find where there was a Burnells were married? Can we do this? And the bottom line is, they found nothing. Because guess what?
She's dead! She's dead!
And by the end of this podcast, basically there's going to be two groups. There's going to be a group of people who, actually I'll say there's three groups. There's going to be a group of people who are just my supporters.
They believe me anyway.
They know that I'm honest and upfront and truthful about this stuff, and that this was something, lying about the marriage was something I necessarily had to do to protect myself and my family, all right? And people will understand that. Then there's going to be a group of people who maybe heard the thing and were like, man, that's kind of weird that he didn't tell us, but I want to hear the story. And once you hear the story, you'll be like, okay, great. I now got my answers and good to go. And then you're going to have a group of people who just don't care. No matter what I say or do, they're not going to believe me. I could provide you with empirical evidence proving everything I say is true. I could show you emails. I could show you documents, licenses. I could show you a million things, and they'll still say it's fake. So there's no point in me trying to satisfy those people because I know those people are never going to be satisfied. So basically, I'm just going to do what I always do. I'm going to tell you guys the truth up front, be incredibly transparent with all of you. I'm going to reveal stuff to you that I couldn't tell you before this trip went down, again, for safety and security purposes. And it should serve to answer all of your questions moving forward. And the other thing about this is, once this podcast is over, this should be a bit of closure. For those of you who are logical humans, you're going to be like, okay, Phil finally explained everything. This is good. We had some questions. They're answered. Now we can move on and have gameplay streams like always, and that's that.
DSP is a pedophile. DSP is a thief. DSP is a greedy fuck. DSP is this and that.
Phil's a horrible pedophile and a public masturbator.
Phil is an abuser of children who wants to slap, beat up children and threaten a kid online. This is insane. Much like my ex-girlfriend.
Phil went to Connecticut or whatever. You know, why is he going to have to do a whole podcast about his trip to Connecticut? We don't really care that much, right?
Far from the bright lights of Las Vegas or New York City.
The bottom line is I didn't have to do any of this. I could have come back from this trip and said, well, my private life's my private life. That's it. Let's just hit the ground running and do gameplay. But the thing is, I value your time and attention. I value your support. And it sucks. I'm going to be very honest with all of you. It fucking sucks. Okay? That I had to hide this.
I had to lie.
And it sucks because I don't like doing that. I pride myself over 10 years that I've been doing this. I've been upfront with most of you, on everything. And you see someone like Jake Likes Cats or Like Cats Jake or Like Jake Cats or whatever the fuck his name is saying, well, he shouldn't have hit it because now you see it makes you look worse. Dude, and immediately you get a dickhead like ITG Jake. I'm going to read it because I've had enough and he's permanently banned now. Do you want us to give you money to see your parents? Fuck you, Jake. How about that? Fuck you. Do you really think, in the scheme of things, it's more important for me to eat some shit for a few days, come back and do a podcast, and like I said, my loyal viewers and followers who trust me anyway are gonna believe me anyway. And so it does, things are gonna continue as business as usual. Or do you think it would, having the whole ceremony ruined, having everyone trolled who was involved with the ceremony all fucking week, probably have assholes calling in pranks and swatting and shit. Do you really think that that's worth it? No. And anyone who has a mature fucking brain is going to understand. The bottom line is, many people don't. Many people are just like, well, you're a streamer, so therefore you should be 100% transparent on everything. Fuck your own privacy. Fuck your own, having a nice ceremony. Fuck your family. Fuck everyone. Just share everything and we don't care. It's all on your expense anyway. Ha ha ha, the world's just a big joke. It's not. And those people are so fucked in the head that it doesn't matter what I say or do, they're never going to be convinced otherwise anyway. So I don't give a fuck. JMFS1989 tipped me $1. Can you show us the proof you have tax money? Oh my god. As I've already said, I'm not going to jump the gun. So, Ben Boxer Cheer. He says, it's too late to apologize. It's too late. Oh, I have nothing to apologize for. I have absolutely nothing to apologize for. The only thing that I can say is I am sorry that I had to hide the wedding. That's it. That's it. Everything else that I've told you guys was upfront, 100% honest. There's nothing to apologize for at all.
Don't worry about it.
Jack36 tipped me $2. Says waiting on the divorce. Well, you're gonna be waiting a long fucking time. Let's put it that way. Trust me when I say this. I'm madly in love with Kat. I want to be with her for the rest of my life. I'm not someone who just rushes into this, I've known her for 2 years and, lived with her for over a year. She's been a massive improvement to my life. She's been life-changing in many ways.
Okay, you don't like me. Got it. You think I'm a scammer. Got it. You think I'm a scumbag. Got it. You think I'm the worst gamer on the planet. Got it. All right. On the wedding post? post. The post announcing our marriage to the world. You gotta put that shit, like, does that not show how fucked up you are? Even if you hate my guts and you believe all these negative, ridiculous conspiracy theories about me, the wedding post is not the place to put that shit.
Hank Duma tipped me $100. Wow, thank you very much, Hank. Listen, guys, just to say I'm incredibly grateful for any contributions today, guys. I'm not expecting anything. I said this on the pre-stream, and I will actually say this in this video as well. Contributions are much appreciated and incredibly helpful, but they're not expected. No! I would think that if you support me and you like what I do, you're still gonna fucking pay my bills. Ren Jesse James, wow, tip me $50. Thank you, Ren Jesse James. Wow, another very generous tip. He says, I'm really salty you didn't invite me, a random internet stranger, to your ceremony. However, congrats, I finally got a job. Here's a little wedding present. May all the detractors and haters develop horrible, nightmarish. I'm not reading that. That's messed up. Omnipotent, Mr. Dr. Profusi Cheers says, did you have a crazy bachelor party with your dad and friends? We'll talk about that. And the answer is no. That's stupid. My whole life, my mom has pressured me to commit and get married. My whole fucking life. She's like, are you going to get married? Are you going to get married? That's just how she is. She's an old school traditional person. She grew up in a different generation where it was like, if you don't get married, something's wrong. Why didn't you get married? Right? And to see me, you know, I'm in my late 30s now and I wasn't married or whatever. And my mom's like, what's going on? And so, you know, now that I'm with Kat.
That's right. Italian moms.
You're absolutely right. It's a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing in Italian families to get married and have the family and all of that. So fuck your mother. You know, late 30s and not married or whatever. You know, so awesome that Kat, you know, and I have been together and have such a great life together here. Fuck you, Jake. To the point where we were outside of any pressure from my mom or my parents, we were already having the conversation behind the scenes about, do we want to get engaged? Right? We probably can't get married, but, you know, do we want to get engaged? By the way, this all happened last year. Long fucking time ago. All right, I'm not going to tell you the specifics of when or whatever, but basically all this discussion happened last year. Kat had been living with me for a while, and we were going together perfectly. Our lives were so much dramatically improved, and we had gotten settled in. Kat had gotten settled in with a job and everything. Everything was going good for a while. And we said, let's get engaged. One day we were out. It was one of our days out, and we were, I believe, at the local mall. Yeah, it was the local mall. And for a little bit, we had been looking at engagement rings because we were curious. Gee, what are engagement rings? What? And the bottom line is, engagement rings, depending on what you get, could be dirt cheap. I'm talking under $100 to life-changingly expensive, like tens of thousands of dollars. Now, I just wanted to say something. All right, if you have that kind of crazy-ass money to go nuts and go spend thousands of dollars on a ring, go ahead. And there's these ridiculously stupid fucking things I've heard. Oh, it's expected that when you get your engagement ring, the cost of the ring should be about 2 to 3 months' salary for the male. Fuck you. Who the fuck are you to make that kind of a crazy-ass thing? Oh, that's a rule. So yeah, I'm going to spend a quarter of my money this year on a fucking ring. A ring that could fall off the finger and go down a drain. A ring that the gem that cost thousands of dollars could pop out and roll into a gutter. Are you fucking stupid? You're the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard. You're going to spend insane amounts of money on a fucking ring. A thing that's just, it's not even the love. It's a symbol, right? A representation. It's not your love that you have to drop that money on. That's just nuts to me. Fuck you. And by the way, Kat agrees with me. We're like, this is nuts that people will go crazy with this shit.
Just to give you guys some fucking perspective, alright? Over the years that I've been a content creator, in particular, I'd say about 3-4 years ago, people just have gone nuts with the shit they've done. They've called my relatives, they've called former businesses that I worked for, they've called the schools that I went to school to, they've called news agencies, they've called restaurants, they've called all these places and harassed the fuck out of people, my relatives, or said stuff about me, or done shit. They actually contacted former businesses that I had associations with, to say nasty stuff about me. They have signed me up for endless amounts of stuff that I never agreed to, that I then had to try to get out of, just because they know basic information about me, like my name and address and phone number. I constantly get pranked with tons of nasty shit here at my house, whether it's, you know, stupid stuff. I'm not even gonna, I don't want to get into the details of it because it's gonna give people more ideas to do it, okay? The insane amount of junk mail that I receive on a daily basis. If I don't empty out my mailbox out here, that mailbox is full. So every day, that's how much mail I get. I have to empty my mailbox. If I go 2 days, the mailman can't leave mail because they've signed me up for so many garbage publications and solicitations that I can't even, I have to empty my mailbox every day, okay? I've been swatted. That, you know, to the point where when I first moved here, I notified my local police department, I'm a streamer, there's a chance that I may get swatted, and I was swatted. But not only that, other people, people I never talked about have been swatted. And behind the scenes and stuff, family members of mine were swatted. For no reason. Because I never even publicly talked about it. So, you know, that's why I'm not going to give attention to it. But they were swatted, and they have nothing to do with me. Because of me. Because they're related to me. They were swatted. And I knew that if I gave any information that, number one, I was getting married, or number two, the specifics of where I was going to be on what day, that there was potential that people could do this fucking stuff to me. Right? Can you imagine? Oh, yeah, today we're going to the zoo. And then we go to the zoo and the police show up because someone swatted the zoo. You know what I mean? Like, that was a genuine... For anyone else on the planet Earth, that's like silly. That's ridiculous. That's silly, Phil. For me, that's actually a genuine concern.
You know, I can't do this shit. It's so fucked up how fucked up my fucking life is because of these fucking degenerates and the shit that they've done to me over the years. So this is a genuine fucking concern. Some people think it's funny. It's not. It's not funny. Because of some shithead piece of immoral garbage, a morally decrepit, toxic turd that draws breath and sucks the air off the planet where other valid fucking morally, you know, good people want to live. This person could actually hurt me like this.
I mean, who was it? Was it Ice Poseidon that went to an airport and was live streaming from the airport on Twitch, and basically they swatted him because of that, and that got him banned from Twitch permanently? You can't put this shit past these people. You can't. Okay?
I had to take incredible precautions to make sure that no one knew anything about where I was. Okay? And it worked. And it was very difficult and stressful, and it was very tough to do this. All right? But it paid off.
Slow smoked turkey breast, you know, with delicious cheddar cheese and hand mixed garlic aioli mayo on a delicious hoagie roll. $40 a person to get internet on this flight. $40 a person for 5 hours of internet? That's $8 an hour. This is a cat, I'm not even exaggerating. The cat's nice, and you're petting it, purrs, then turns, fucking scratches your hand for no reason. And cat's eating a pizza, and you can see her eyes are lighting up. And she's eating this pizza. Now, normally she doesn't eat a lot. She's like, I want more. She's eating more pizza. Go ahead, we got the pizza area. We ate almost the whole pizza. It's layers of cake. That's a sponge-type cake that absorbs.
Very simple. So the whole wedding that Phil scammed his viewers to raise thousands of dollars for, we had a ceremony at my parents' house that cost nothing, and we went to a nice dinner that my parents paid for that was, you know, at a local Italian restaurant, and that was the whole thing. So I'm sure that cost thousands of dollars. I mean, these fucking idiots that say these conspiracy theories on the internet are so insanely stupid. We're gonna finally... So, we went that night to post up pictures of the wedding, and I knew it. I said to Cass, you know exactly what's gonna happen. You're gonna have a 50-50 split. You're gonna have half the people are gonna be shocked and happy, and half the people are gonna be shocked and immediately just be toxic, disgusting, immoral people on our wedding post with nasty stuff about me being a bad person and I robbed money and all that, even though none of this is true, and this whole trip's on my parents' behalf. You know, this is what they're going to say, so just expect it. And that's exactly what fucking happened. I posted it up. It was 50-50. So, and some people are like, you know, why does Phil spend time, you know, editing posts and stuff? Because it's very simple. It is our wedding post, and that's something that probably in years we'll go back and look at. And we don't want nasty shit on there, you know. So we did. I'm sure by now there is, because it was like 2 days I would go back and check it and delete the nonsense. I'm sure by now it's flooded with the nonsense again. But at least for about a day or two, it was nice. And there was a nice viewer and reaction, positive reaction to it, and we appreciated that very much. Sadly, I hate to say it, 50% of the people who knew that we had gotten married were very supportive and happy and wanted to keep seeing me post up stuff. 50% of the people were just being complete negative assholes and just being really scumbags to us and insulting us constantly. So, like, I posted up a picture of Wahlburgers, and I'm like, yeah, it's the first time I've ever seen one of these. Anyone heard if it's any good? And some people are like, nah, it's overpriced, don't go there. And other people are like, you have money, you scam people, you're going to spend it on burgers. And it's like, I knew it. From then on, anything I posted for the rest of the trip was just going to be negative shit from assholes who just wanted to ruin our lives. So I was like, at this point, I'm not going to do too much more. Like, there's no point, right? You know, I have a lot of things that I agree with and I disagree with my parents. We are very different people, very, very, very different people. If you met my parents, you'd be like, you're Phil's dad and mom. You know, they're not like me. So basically, it started off the conversation was that my mom wanted to pay for Kat and I to go on a honeymoon. But basically, I told my mom, I said, like, I appreciate that. That's amazing. And quite frankly, I doubt Kat and I will ever be able to go on a honeymoon together. Just being very honest, at this point, unless I get myself out of the financial rut I'm in, there was no way that I would be able to go. But I told her, I mean, being straight up honest with you, and this is Kat and I had talked about this previously, it's a no-go. We can't go on a honeymoon. I'm in a situation where I can't take time away from work. Already this week that I was away for be with my parents and for the wedding, already I had probably lost thousands of dollars that I would have made on the streams and the videos on YouTube. And that's money I need to pay my bills. And I'm not in a financially feasible situation where I could take time away from work in a significant amount of time anytime soon. We're talking years now, probably before I'll be in a better financial position where maybe I could do that. Number two, and I said this very honestly, and this involves you guys, okay? I said, I'll be honest with you, right now, I posted up pictures of the wedding yesterday, and I can already see the 50-50 split of the way that people have reacted. You got the 50% of the people who like what I do and love me and trust in me and believe that even though I needed all this help with taxes, that I did not come out here and spend my own money and spend money on this trip. And then you got the other half of the people who just hate my guts and literally now are saying so many nasty things about Kat and I on our wedding day. And this is what I live with. This is the dichotomy that I live with in my life, that I have staunch supporters and people who just hate my guts. And I said, now, can you imagine? Let's say even in a year's time, can you imagine if I tried to go on a honeymoon when I'm probably still in a financial position where I need help on streams, people to be supportive or whatever with, you know, with their contributions and all of that. And all of a sudden, oh, by the way, even though you guys, you know, you helped me out a lot with everything going on financially, I'm going to go on a vacation now. All expenses paid. Huh? You know, that doesn't jive. And I honestly, I wouldn't feel in good faith. I wouldn't feel okay with going on a vacation with Kat, even if it was paid for, with the situation back home. Here's the thing. When I went to visit Connecticut to see my parents, this is an important trip. Number one, we don't know what's going to happen with their health. At any moment, one of them could go, and then I'll never see them again. So this is a very important trip to spend time with them. Number two, this is our wedding. This is an opportunity for Kat and I to get married in a situation that's better than what we would have done here for ourselves, and to have a little bit of a special day where we can remember this for the rest of our lives. And doing it there made my parents so happy that they were there for my wedding. Are you kidding me? Like I said, my mom's been waiting for me to get married her whole life. And now finally, thank God, before, you know, she passes away, whenever that may be, knock on wood, hopefully not soon, I was there to be married and she saw it in person. Okay? She was so ecstatically happy. I told her straight up front, I said, not possible. Honeymoon can't, if you could promise us this, and I probably will never be able to take it, okay? But you know my financial situation. And basically I told her about everything that's been going on here over the last few weeks, how I'd been doing multiple marathon streams, how much money I had raised, and based off of what my tax guy had told me, here's what's left. And then, by the way, the tax guy is going to bill me this much for doing my taxes. He's going to bill me this much to try to get me on the payment plan. I basically gave her all the financials of everything. All right? And, you know, sitting there having this honest conversation, my mom said, well, here's the deal. She's like, I need you to commit to a fact that you're going to do some life changes in the short term and the long term, because you can't keep going like this. She looked at me and she's like, you're happy, but I can tell that you're running yourself ragged. I can tell that you are working yourself to the bone, Kat as well. And, you know, every time I call you or every time we talk on the weekends, you tell me about how the whole week is work. You never tell me that you get to spend time with Kat, because you don't, right? And this is not the life that you're going to be able to live for your whole life. She's like, what are you going to do, you know, when you're 50, 60 years old And you think people are going to still want to tune into your stream all day long? I mean, yeah, maybe I could still do like a part-time stream, but no, who's going to want to sit watching a 60-year-old guy play video games all day, right? In addition to that, you know, you're killing yourself financially because you have all these situations going on with the finances behind the scenes of everything. You're killing yourself to even make ends meet and pay your bills. How are you going to? You can't. She's like, you've worked yourself to your limits. You can't keep going the way you're going. If you keep doing it, you're gonna have health problems. She says, look at us. Look at your father and me. You know, we are at 60 years old and are having these health problems where we could go in any day. She's like, but you are in your 30s and you're telling us the stress and shit you're putting up with. And she even said to me, she says, you don't have to justify yourself to anyone. She says, understand that. You choose to do it. She's like, the work you're in, being a public persona, you choose to force yourself to justify to thousands of people. She says, you should have been able to come out here to Connecticut, have a nice week with your wife, get married, and go home and not have to do a special event when you go home to explain the situation and people, oh, they're scamming these assholes being shitheads on top of you. She's like, none of that should happen. That's fucked up. That's a messed up life to have. And, you know, you're in a situation where you have to do, you know, why? Who are these kids who are making fun of you on the internet that now they can actually concretely negatively affect your business? What kind of a life is this that you live? I said, Mom, you're right. You know, this is a situation that when I started to get into it 10 years ago, I never thought that this is where I would be. It was a hobby. It was a joke. I didn't know I would lose my office job. I didn't know that I would have to try to flip YouTube into a living and then YouTube would fall through a million times and all that. So essentially we had this very long and important conversation. Okay. And where it ended up was a few things. The first is I realized, guys, I can't do this forever. I know that. And by the way, don't worry. It doesn't mean I'm quitting doing this anytime soon. I love it. But I know realistically, how long can I do this? I can't do this forever. She has a point. What could I do? Maybe another 10 years? Top 15 tops? Would people care when I'm 50 years old playing fucking video games? You know what I mean? And not to say that I couldn't try to diversify and do other things with my streaming. But I certainly don't think that it's going to be something people are going to want to tune into when I'm an older dude. You know, it's a younger generation. You know, they're not going to want to see me doing that stuff when I'm older. So in reality, what she's basically saying is that I need to not quit what I do, but I do in the long term need to figure out what else am I going to do. And she's right. I agree with her after thinking about it. Being completely honest with everyone. What I need to kind of do is get myself to a financial situation where I don't have to work all day on stream. Maybe where I can do like, all right, my finances are in a situation where now I don't owe so much that I have to literally make a ridiculous amount of money to pay the minimum payments on everything. And so that way I can stream less and I can maybe go get a job that's an entry-level job that pays less than what I make streaming, but it won't matter because I won't owe all this debt to everyone and I won't need to make that much money anymore. You see what I mean? But that's not a short-term thing. There's no overnight fix to you owe less money to the world. You see what I mean? So this is something that's going to come in time where maybe, you know, again, maybe within 10 years, I can fix things financially behind the scenes where I'm not bleeding every month financially. And I can stream less and I can go get another job and balance my life with that. And not to say, again, I don't want to quit doing this. I will do this. As long as it's within my power, guys, I will stream and share my daily gameplay and just fun experiences and interactions with you guys as long as I can, as long as people care. But nothing's forever. Nothing lasts forever. And my mom's right. She's like, you know, you're going to be our age. How are you going to be fucking doing this at 60? Look at us. We can barely move. And you're going to be doing this at 60? You're out of your mind. And she's right. So basically, I think that's what it's going to be is in the next 10 years or so, once I finally get myself in a situation where financially it's not so bad, I'm going to look to get another job of some sort. And, you know, it's going to be work because I've been out of the job market for 10 years almost. And it's going to be probably another 10 years. You know what I mean? Before I can make those changes, but I'm going to have to. Okay? The other thing is, and my mom's absolutely right, she says you just can't keep doing what you're doing anymore. Like, if you literally cannot pay your bills, something's got to give. So, as afraid as I am of if I don't pay a certain thing, I'll ruin my credit or whatever, right? At this point, there's no alternative. You know what I mean? Like, basically, Kat and I sat down this week and talked a lot. And we were like, if I can't pay these taxes and we have to sell the house, what happens? Well, dumb fuck, fucking walnut-sized brained, drooling from the fucking mouth, sheep mentality bullshit artists who follow a few people on YouTube who make negative videos about me, who believe everything they're fucking told. They're morons. You know what I say? Fuck you. Fuck your mother. Shadow X222, are you a functional retard? I have to ask.
These fucking people.
Fucking asshole. People are nuts. People are fucking nuts. I mean, I can't take it anymore. How inept can you be at your job? They're changing the algorithms and not being transparent with us, or they're just so fucking stupid that they can't figure it out. They fucked it up and they don't even know what they fucked up. Stop that. Stop it, you fucking bastard. Stop. I need that money to pay my bills. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a shit.
Don't shoot. Shoot him. He's black. Shoot him.
Thanks for the money, stupid fuck. Garbage. The gunplay's still terrible. That's what you get. That's what you fucking get, bitch. They're sitting here and they're analyzing every little thing that I possibly say. They fucked it up, and now I'm gonna get fucked over, not them. They should be the ones getting fired, not me. It's totally ass backward here. Thank you, you fucking worthless humans, for the views.
So the reality of it is this. The reality of it is this. I have to make concrete changes that will ruin my credit in order to save the situation. I cannot leave this house, period. This house is where I work. This house is where the business is that makes me money. And this is the primary concern, is keeping this house, because if I lose this house, okay, then that means that I can't work, okay? I might not be able to get the internet I need to stream every day. I might not be able to do the work that I do in an office setting that's this quality, okay? So, it's just simple. As of now, my primary focus is this house and paying this mortgage and keeping the electricity and all that on. And whether that means that my credit gets permanently destroyed because I'm not paying the mortgage in Connecticut, or I'm not paying credit cards, or whatever it may be, so be it, because this is the important thing. And eventually what's going to happen, depending on what happens, how much I can afford and the like, is probably eventually that condo that I have in Connecticut that's a money pit that I can't get rid of and I can't rent and I can't sell, they're going to get foreclosed. They're going to foreclose on it and take it out of my name. And that's going to be a tremendous financial burden off of me. It's going to be at the expense of my credit, but at this point, I don't see another way out. The other thing with the credit cards is I know that with certain credit card companies, you can call and negotiate and say, listen, I'm in a bad financial position right now. I'm just in dire straits. I have a ridiculous amount of back taxes I owe the federal government and that I can't pay them. So obviously I can't pay you anymore, because if I don't pay the back taxes, they're just going to start taking my money, and you're going to get nothing. So what I need to do is negotiate with these credit card companies and say, I can pay half of what you actually want, but you have to lower my interest rate to make that affordable, so that the card doesn't just keep racking up and never get paid down. So basically I have to do all this stuff. I have to abandon a property in Connecticut. I have to negotiate with credit card companies, and this is going to permanently fuck my credit up. That's really what I have to do, and I committed to my mother that I'm doing it. I said, I will commit to you, Mom, that I'm going to do this, because you're right. There's no way to pay everything anymore, and I now have a wife. We have a life together. You know what I mean? And we have to make these changes, because we can't keep going this way until something goes wrong.
So, after this long, this was hours. This conversation was hours. All right? After this long conversation with my parents, finally, basically my mom said, well, since you can't go on the honeymoon, how much do you need to get on this payment plan for these taxes and basically not get completely screwed over? I told her. She gave me the money. She gave me enough money that, combined with what she gave me, combined with what you guys gave me, all right, is enough to now pay the government, and my tax attorney will work with the government to qualify for the payment plan. All right? So, essentially, I am still going to have to try to make a lot of money, because I'm going to have an additional new payment coming out of nowhere now. I don't even know what it's going to be. I was assuming probably $500 to $1,000 a month, but it depends on what the terms they give me for this payment plan. And what I'm going to have to do is, like I said, number one, dump the condo in Connecticut. Just don't pay it anymore till they foreclose. That's money in my pocket. And number two, make negotiations with all my credit card companies to pay like half. Because if I could pay half of what I'm paying now, that's a lot of money in my pocket. And between those two, I should be making enough to not only pay all my bills that I absolutely need to pay to keep the business going and keep this house, but also enough to pay my taxes.
We're out of the water for the short term. Long term, who fucking knows what's going to happen? Because it seems like every time I get to this situation and something's going right, something creeps the fuck up out of the under the rug, or crawls out of the toilet, or shoots out of a monkey's ass at me and hits me. I mean, so many things have happened over the years with bullshit.